Hey guys, Jim here. Welcome in once again. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. Number one, we are obviously going to be reviewing a knife. But number two, you're going to get a chance to win this just a hair under $800 limited edition knife that I'm so excited to bring out to you. All you got to do is be a member of my Patreon. If you're not already, there you go. For as little as $5 a month when you support the channel, you get a chance to win cool shit all the time. This is now the most expensive knife that I'm going to be offering on my Patreon giveaways, and I'm pretty excited about doing it. Now, this is a knife that unfortunately I've had for over 2 years, and unfortunately I have not had the chance to sit down and make the video on it. When I got this, it was just before COVID hit, and everything was kind of upside down and backwards, and what was up was down, and everything was just a mess. My kid was taken out of school because school shut down, and then that led into summer, and next thing you knew, I got to the point where things started to get a little bit normal, not so much, but a little bit normal, and I had this knife sitting to the side. Anytime I have knives that are in for review, they're off to the side away from my collection. Whether they're my knives or purely only review knives or whatever, I keep them to the side so I don't forget to do them. Then they go into my rotation and I can start using them and playing with them and carrying them and shit like that. This one was sitting to the side and sitting so far to the side that I completely forgot that I had it for many months. Then when I saw it, I was like, oh shit, the box, the certificate of authenticity, and everything on it is in Russian. It's in Cyrillic, which I can't read. So I couldn't remember who made the knife. I remember it was a mutual friend of the maker and myself who got the knife for me and sent it over to me, but I had forgotten who it was. And then I lost my Facebook account. They decided to delete me after 16 years of having that account. So all my old messages were gone too, and I couldn't reference them, which was where I knew I had talked to that person. So long story short, I'm an asshole, and I completely forgot to do this review in a timely fashion, and things compiled and screwed this up so much that now this limited edition knife that they only made 100 of is so long sold out, you're never going to find one. So what I decided to do is, since I've had the opportunity now for over 2 years to play with it and enjoy it, and I really do, I really enjoy this knife. Now that I'm able to finally make the video that it deserves and nobody can get one, I wanted to make sure this was done as a giveaway. So I hope the winner appreciates this. It is a super stellar knife. Here's the thing. You guys know I absolutely hate front flippers. I do not like them. I don't like the operation. I don't like how you have to change your handhold on them. And the fact that, I don't know, 3 times out of 10, I don't have the coordination to get these things to flip all the way open to full lock. This one changed my mind. Now, I'm never going to like front flippers, but this one is so superbly made and so gorgeous and so sleek and slim, but weighty. And the way the jimping is done, the way the flipper tab is done, it's all done in a way that I actually really do love this knife. So, unfortunately, it's going to leave my collection, but fortunately, it's going to go to one of you guys who truly deserve it. And if you are a front flipper fan and you're not already a member of my Patreon, change that shit right now. Get in there. You are going to want this knife. Everybody else must have loved them too, because I have never once seen a Cheburkov Kori up for sale in any Facebook groups, anywhere on Instagram or anywhere else. I have not seen these 100 knives being flipped. So I'm going to assume that other people were just as impressed as I was when they got theirs. It is slick. It is so beautiful. It really is a gorgeous knife. As a matter of fact, I'm going to just shut up about all that right now, and we're going to get to the tabletop review. We're going to show this close up. We're going to play with it. We're going to talk about the pros and cons. And I'm going to tell you right now, there really aren't... I can't think of any cons off the top of my head. Maybe I will by the time I get down to the review. But we're going to take a close-up look, see what this whole knife is about, and why someone who thoroughly despises front flippers actually really, really enjoys this knife. For those of you unaware, you can get swag. Yay! We all love swag, don't we? I've got a whole shop full of t-shirts and coffee mugs and cell phone cases and all kinds of good stuff at what I feel are very reasonable prices over at teespring.com. Just go to teespring.com and search Skelton Blade Works, and you'll see my whole little shop filled with stickers, t-shirts, coffee mugs, and all kinds of other goodies. Some that are a little bit snarky, and some that are a little bit more straightforward with just plain logos. Thank you guys for your support as always. I hope you enjoy the merchandise. Now back to the video. Okay, enough of my bullshit excuses. Let's finally get down and show this badass knife. Now, this is the packaging it's going to come in. Very generic packaging, nothing particularly special about the packaging. But inside you will get the knife safely ensconced in foam. And then you will get this certificate of authenticity. Now, for those of you that can read Russian, hey, go for it. There you go. You can pause the video and read that. What I've got here, packaging aside, is simply an absolutely stellar knife. To the fact that I really wouldn't call to change a damn thing on it. I love the pocket clip, that pencil thin pocket clip, beautifully, beautifully sculpted. The way the blade is completely flush with the frame and then dips down into it. Even, yeah, that front flipper tab, it's done so damn well. Perfect jimping. Just sharp enough that you can get a hold of it very, very easily, but not so sharp that it's actually going to be like tearing skin or anything like that. Let's get into the specifics, the specifications, and then I'll tell you what I like, what I don't like, and everything else about this knife. Now, this is the Cheburkov Kori, designed and manufactured by Alexander Cheburkov out of Russia. Now, you've heard his name on my channel once or twice before, as he has made me full custom knives, and breathtakingly beautiful, absolutely tremendously made custom knives. This is not a full custom. This was his foray into mid-tech knives. And if you go to websites like FromRussiaWithKnives.com, which is the website that's owned by Custom Knife Factory, they do distribution for Cheburkov knives. You'll see quite a wonderful selection of different models. Again, not this one, because these were limited to 100 made and they're done, they're gone. They have been for 2 years now. But there's quite a great selection there of standard flippers, non-flippers, front flippers, all kinds of neat shit. This particular knife has a blade length of 4.06 inches. Yeah, that is a big blade that's so easily carried in this knife. It's a M390, flat ground, 61 to 62 Rockwell hardness. One of the most breathtakingly beautiful tumbled finishes I have ever seen. It is a really, really well done stone wash. Very, very fine, nice and reflective, almost as if it were polished. Really gorgeous. I don't know why my camera will not focus today. I apologize. I'm trying like hell. Just gorgeous. I would want to call this a sheep's foot blade with the way the edge goes upward toward the tip and this comes down rounded, but they may have a different designation for that. Not entirely certain, but I'm going to go with sheep's foot blade. Let's see here. We have a full titanium frame lock. The weight is 4 ounces, which is significant. It feels hefty in the hand, but it's not overwhelming, obviously. It's only 4 ounces. It's not 6, 7, 8 ounces. But it's such a thin, slender knife that when you look at it, you don't expect the heft when you pick it up and put it in your hands. I don't have the overall length because, oh yeah, I do. It's 9.06 inches. My apologies. I thought I had forgotten to measure shit. 9.06 inches in overall length, so it is very, very long, but as I mentioned, very narrow and very slim. Very easy to carry. I have carried this a couple of times, not very many. Again, I'm not a front flipper guy. I want a knife that I can pull out and I don't have to change my hand position. It's going to open. It's going to be in my hand the way I want it to be when it's open. But I have carried it because I have found this knife to be rather addictive. I would walk past my knives and choose what I'm going to carry for the day. And I'd see this one sitting off to the side and I'd pick it up and I'd play with it and I'd feel that action from the ceramic bearings. And I would just go, oh, wow. It's so smooth. It flips so well. And you guys have seen me come out here on the rare occasion with front flippers. And many of you have noticed I have a really hard time getting it to open with authority every single time. With this knife, even right there where I hit it on the corner instead of on the jimping, you see that it just flies right open. And it locks open every single time. I have been thoroughly impressed with this knife to the point where, I'll be honest with you, I do not want to give this away. I truly do not. But you guys have been so incredibly, wonderfully supportive of me over now nearly 10 years I've been doing this. I'm so happy. I'm so grateful to be able to do this as often as I do. And I want to give back. And I always do giveaways for my Patreon members. But I really wanted to do something special. I've got quite a few customs on order that for any number of reasons have been delayed. So I wanted to put something out there special. And this is a knife that was $765. I think From Russia with Knives sold them for $800 even. So you're getting an $800 knife here, and you're going to feel that when you pick it up. You're going to feel it in the build quality. And I'll tell you right now, out of all the countries outside of the United States that I would say repeatedly put out absolutely incredible quality knives, Russia is among the top of them. I can't recall ever getting a Russian-made knife that I wasn't thoroughly impressed with. I'm sorry, guys. My camera will not focus close up today, and I don't know why. It's been doing this for a few weeks, and I've been fighting with it. Everything about this knife, from the finish of this titanium, which is, it changes colors in different lighting. Sometimes it looks like a really deep purple. Sometimes it looks like a navy blue. Sometimes it looks black. It's impossible for me to put my finger on it. The pivot, beautifully done. That's all done in a very, very dark bronze anodizing. The lock is very easy to access. There is your lock up there. Nice early lockup. You've got the stainless lock bar insert. Oh, that's what it is. I'm bleeding all over the knife. So whoever gets this knife is going to get my blood. I will be sure to clean it off. Yep. I caught the very corner of that flipper tab there. That's what happened. And I believe that's numbered right down there. I'm going to take a look here. Nope, it just says 2019, which was when the knife was initially made. So again, you got the steel lock bar insert, you have ceramic bearings inside, you have a full titanium frame lock. Love that pocket clip. That pocket clip, by the way, works exceedingly well. It locks in very, very well into your pants pocket. It's not a labor to pull the knife out. It's not a labor to get the knife in. It works just perfectly. Razor sharp, absolutely crazy, crazy sharp edge. I love that swedge that's been ground into the top of the blade, into the spine of the blade. I will say this, now that that's the first time that's ever happened on any knife, I would not engage the flipper tab right there at that very top corner, because that just cut the living shit out of me. I just hit it right there on that corner. So yeah, you definitely want to hit it along the jimping on the spine, and you'll have no issues whatsoever getting that open. It rockets open. It flips open as well as almost any other standard flipper that I've ever played with. So it's been extremely impressive. It's a nice big knife. Even though it's slender, it's a very large knife in the hand, as you can see. Fills up my entire hand. But it's really comfortable. Everything is nicely contoured, very nicely shaped for the hand, uniform finish throughout. Now see, that's interesting. So that the pivot looks more like a bronze over here, but more of a blue, just like the hardware on the other side. So I wonder if I hit that with Windex, if that'll come back to being blue like it is on the reverse side. I'm not certain about that. This knife is just full of surprises. I swear to God, every time I've ever picked this knife up, I catch something else. It looks very, very simple, doesn't it? But I catch something else about it, whether it's the colors or the way something's been implemented on it that I didn't catch before. Like right now, I'm noticing right here where the jimping is for that front flipper tab, how this kind of just drops off ever so gently, like a reverse thumb ramp, down to the spine of the blade. Never noticed that before. And again, I've had this knife for over 2 years, and I've never seen that before. So all in all, I think that this is, I feel absolutely terrible that I didn't get this video done when I received the knife. It was just a crazy, crazy time, because I would have loved to have shown you guys this knife and had a lot of my viewers snatch it up instead of just, a bunch of random people. I think that you guys would have really, really enjoyed it. So the best I can do to make up for that is make one of you an owner of this knife, and I'm excited to do that. There's not a lot to say here, guys. It's a very simple design, very clean design. All I can tell you is it carries well, it flips well, it's stupidly sharp, and it's well built all the way around. There's never going to be a time that I'm going to be totally in lust with a front flipper, but I think this is the closest I'll ever become. I only have one front flipper in my collection, and that's this Ziba, and I will always have it forever, because this was a complete one-off. There are no others like this, because at the time that Michael made this, he was doing a project for making the Oscars for the Academy Awards, and he was doing the gold plating for the Oscars. This is the actual gold that was being used in the Oscars. So that's why I don't ever carry this knife, because if I ever scratch it, I can't do anything about it. I can't have it refurbished. It can't be redone. So I'm actually really glad that this special of a knife was done in a front flipper. That way I'm not really tempted to carry the damn thing. But that's the only other front flipper that I've owned that I've really, truly loved. I really enjoyed the HEA Designs Hunter. Maybe the size was a good part of it, why I enjoyed it, but not a love like I have with this. And again, my thing with front flippers is, instead of having a flipper tab here where I've got the grip on my knife, you have to move the knife out of the palm of your hand. You have to bring it out. You have to turn it sideways and then access it with the side of your thumb. So you're holding it in this weird way. You're not really gripping it. You have no control over this. And if you're considering a knife to be more than a tool, if it is a, let's say, a defensive weapon, you never want to have a defensive weapon that you don't have a firm grasp on when you've deployed it. And with a front flipper, you are forced to hold it like this so that you can access that flipper tab. Well, that's not secure. And God, I got to stop doing that. So it's not secure in any way in my hand. So that's my only deal with front flippers. It's not the fact that they're not made well or there's nothing attractive about them. It's just a personal thing. I want a specific type of deployment. But I have been wonderfully addicted to this knife, and I wanted to share that with the world. Thank you guys, as always, for watching. A little sneak peek for what's going to be coming up in a future video. Some of you guys remember this, the utterly insane PMP Knives Alpha Beast. Remember that bad boy? Well, I have another PMP to show you guys, the Alpha Smilodon, and it is insanely large. It is a crazy knife in every respect. Excuse me, in every respect. And I'll be bringing this out to you very, very shortly. Thank you guys for joining me as always, and I'll catch you on the next video.